Hello, beautiful Libra. We are here to do your August 2020 read. This is going to be a very important report for you guys. I'm going to be covering the aspects of where chakras can be activated, the aspects, the key really hard days that we're going to have during the month, times, dates, places, as my girlfriend says. As well as very separately, on top of the chakra systems, I'm going to be covering couples, singles, those of you who are in between or ending a cycle, employment, unemployed, your wealth, your health, and more. So let's get into it now. Already some of these aspects you might be experiencing towards the end of July. If you look back, you may have synchronistically been having a little bit of arduous energy, including maybe going off your food a little bit. Diets coming up for Libra, but more because of the axis of your things that you're needing to achieve, trying to keep your stress levels down, achieving these targets, as well as the psychological energy of what these aspects are creating. So some of you might go more towards food due to psychology. Others of you may just go completely off it. Really, because the crown chakra is there, it's important to keep your fluid up during the month. Obviously not going overboard, but, maintaining your fluid levels to clear your crown chakra. And also from a physical energy, because we are moving through a lot of energy, really mind over matter frequency. So ego can come into play and headaches. Let's get into it. Okay, the beginning of the month with these states, and then I'll jump into couples and move through to singles and in-betweens. We'll start off with the aspects. Okay, so initially what you will find is on the first day of the month, there's two major themes coming through. One is Mercury is going to be in Cancer, and it's in opposition to Pluto. This links to both your career sector and your home. So those of you who are working at home, there can be challenges. Also, if you're not, it's this push-pull between the things that you're trying to achieve as well as home-related dynamics. So it does feel two direct environments might be needing on you, and multitasking is going to be the key. We've also got the Sun trining Leo. That's a positive aspect, and this does link into both your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations, and your connections. So this can be work colleagues, family members, love interests, partnerships, contracts. It bodes well, and it does come from the energy of what you put into it, and plus the connections and the things you've directly already established in your energy. The things you're working on can benefit you. It can just in the initial stage at the beginning of the month be a little bit testing mentally and with your patience. So you can become impatient with certain situations, but if you can look at it from what perspective people are coming from and take time to go through it, because we will be very go, 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 or whoa, what do we deal with first? Not biting off too much, dealing with what you have in front of you, and also under offering and over delivering. It's really going to be quite crucial this month, because we are getting to the point where in September we're having Mars go retrograde, and that will hit that sector for you of the 10th house in career and connections. We're also going to be having on the 2nd, you're going to have, again, a lot of needs are going to be pulled upon you. It is a squaring aspect. We're going to be having the Sun in Leo squaring Uranus and Taurus. Now, these themes of Uranus going retrograde will be playing out during the month in pockets, giving you synchronistic warning signs, both at a positive and a negative level. So it doesn't have to be super terrible, but there's going to be a transformation in that energy, and it is very much linked to your shared resources. So if you've been working really meticulously, you may find that this pays dividends. In other aspects, if you've been networking, again, it can benefit you. So advertising, marketing, things to that degree. If you've been working on your social energies from a technology orientation or your throat chakra, you'll find that if you're navigating your communication effectively, it can benefit you, but there can be some testing times that you're still directly integrating. So if you're still meditating upon scenarios, it can potentially be because we have Neptune retrograde at the moment. So people's viewpoints can be deeply differing at the moment. Now, on the 3rd, we're going to be having the full moon in Aquarius. Now, we did have Saturn in Aquarius for a brief point, which did lighten the load to a degree. And it gave us a lighter viewpoint of what 2021 is going to be. And the reason I say that is because we are going to have both Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius, which is wider group energy. It's global energy. We may also have things come up on the media very much linking to this from a collective level of what can be going on with what was prior to 2020 and now moving forward where we're going from that. So the notion of what the old world used to be and what it is now after lockdown energy, things transform. So themes can be coming up surrounding that. But it does link into your luck. So there can be a lot of benefits that do happen on this day. Even though it's yin and yang of ending and new beginning because it's a full moon, this energy will continue for about 4 weeks. And it definitely is a theme about what is coming through for 2021. So pay attention to the synchronistic signs. On the 3rd, we also have Mercury in Cancer. Conjunct, am I right? In opposition to, where am I, the 3rd? Opposition to Saturn. So with the 3rd, it is to do with home-related dynamics and work-related dynamics. The things that are calling upon you and the struggle between balancing both worlds. Now, you're really guided to continue. You might feel very overwhelmed. Oh my gosh, is this ever going to balance out? Needing to be too many things to too many people. Challenges can come up in these domains. And again, it's working through it and it's contrasting polarities. It's like, yes, one person might need this, you need that. Like negotiating, but at the same time, it's like everything's sneaking upon you at the same time. So try and keep patient with that. But with that Capricorn energy, it's really a quality system to be looking at things. Once it goes direct, it can be more intense. So any aha moments you have and any chops and changes you're doing, it's really going to benefit you as you move through towards the end of the year. Now, we're having on the 4th, Venus in Gemini is making a conjunction to Capricorn. This, to the node, sorry. I've had to do your video 3 times, so don't be surprised if you've got to do something 3 times. So on the 4th, we're having, again, the 9th house. Really, it's going to give you a lot of clarity as to where you're going, if you want to move, what your calling is. You could have more energy occurring in the 9th house. So if you do work on media, it can be via that energy, although it is long distance. So, the upskilling, the bigger picture of things, what you're needing to do, there's going to be clarity surrounding this. Also, when it does come to the benefits of your social endeavors, because it's Gemini energy and it is Venus, you may look at the needs to actually integrate that into your life and what that would need to have happen for that to actually occur. There can actually be some luxuries that do come surround this energy as well. On the 5th, we have Mercury entering Leo. Now, with this, you will find connecting in and having the energy, again, to socialize, to move towards your hopes and dreams. It can really benefit you. And on the 7th, we have Venus moving into Cancer. Now, when we say Venus entering into Cancer, it does actually fall. Let me double check. I want to make sure I've got this right. It does fall into your 10th house. Now, I'm trying to interpret this from a psychic point of view. It may be themes from the past. Now, looking at what people like, looking at what groups like, depending on the industry you're working in and depending on what you're wanting to move towards. You may, again, find 2 polarities that, you're really craving, although you're working, you could be craving really a lot of nurturing. You may be relating to feminine energies more so in your work domain. You may be looking at creating this very, maybe a vibration may come through in you where you're wanting to directly connect with people at an emotional, physical level and empathically understand. Although we'll have Mercury in Leo on the 9th, and it is going to be trining Chiron, as the month progresses, you'll find anything at a physical level that you're needing to achieve, you'll do more so towards the beginning of the month. And as the month progresses, what you'll find is more psychological and the fine tuning of your finances, where things are going, how the business is going to be run, how your work is flowing, where your health is at. Those things will come through at the end of the month. Now, the rune that I connected for you guys, I will read at the end, and it very much does link to Pluto. For those of you in your romantic sector that are coupled, I am noticing synchronistically with my clientele and with the astrology viewpoints, and especially since you do have Mars in your connection zone, communicating not from a place of trigger, you could become sharp during the month. Now, that's because of the testing aspects very much linking into your shared resources, the hopes and dreams that you're working towards, your aspirations, your goals. There's a lot needing upon you this month. Now, in September, we will have the energy of Mars going retrograde, which is hitting your Venus house. So with that, you might find yourself to be more sluggish. So anything heavy at the moment that you need to be doing, try and get it done now, although I don't think we'll have a limitation of those things coming up this month. But try and really balance your routine, which can take the pressure off the connection. Also, be very open with your partner through this process of the next 4 months, that as the energy amplifies, you're needing to find ways, especially because Aries and Chiron is asking us to take accountability, that when we're communicating with our connections, they actually understand. Now, healthy boundaries can be there in a sense of if they're needing on you and there's projection. It's being in awareness of that, but really using that traffic light analogy I use on YouTube, which is, okay, triggered, angry, red energy, Aries, stop, breathe, go back to the yellow energy. The yellow energy is inner child, co-creative energy. What are you wanting to get out of this situation? And then come from the heart, chakra green, and proceed forward. So taking that 5 minute and count down, and then just breathe, and then dealing with any aspects of adversity, challenges, and just pace yourself through it. Also, don't be super cross at yourself if you have actually communicated, look, there is a potential I could be a little bit more sharp. Please don't take it personal. I'm trying to do the best to adhere to X, Y, and Z, whatever that is for you. You may actually help bridge that gap where it can calm that frequency down. Now, I am saying with the shared resources, there can be major changes happening in that energy. Either you or your partner may be gaining more income. There may be more give and take coming into the connection. There also could be inheritances and things to that degree coming through in a sense of legacy. But I do feel any changes that are happening right now are going to, in the long run, benefit you. Even if you don't initially feel it right away, at your shared resources level, it will be developing as we proceed forward, and potentially even over the next 7 years. We also have the energy of travel for you guys. Now, again, over the next 2.5 years, you may have things where you start implementing into your connection, social activities that you do. This could have come up during Venus retrograde. Plus with the Gemini energy, those social endeavors and those pastimes that you actually like doing together, these themes can be coming up. Now, with the meditation of that, this month may not be as great for that, but we will have more energy to do things. So even if it's at a very simplistic level, allocating time away from all the expectations the universe has for you, as well as your schedule, and having that time with your loved ones, be it with your romantic partner, your children, and interconnections. I'm also seeing that a lot of the ways in which you communicate are going to be transforming, and it's really helping develop that aspect of communication. Now, you as a Libra usually are quite balanced, but with your communication sector, it's almost healthy speaking towards goals and aspirations. There may have been a time, and this could have been eons years ago, where potentially people's needs and healthy boundaries weren't there. And I really feel you guys have had a huge transformative energy, as well as we do have Juno in Libra at the moment. So really between now and the end of Mars retrograde, you will be assessing these energies. So it is quite natural, both yourself and your romantic house. It's very similar to the nodal effect of first house placement. So, you guys should almost be used to that frequency, but there's that little bit of it, which is the heaviest pocket of it to really test the frequencies. We can find 4 connections that really aren't that great, in your opinion. This can be a very testing time of a make and break. If the communication factor isn't there, the bond, the building, and the backbone in the connection, this can be a time where, with the Mars energy coming through, it can really start showing the cracks in the system. So correcting them, bridging the gap, and working together can actually benefit it, as well as allowing each to kind of transform as you go. Now, those of you that are single, there can be energies coming back in a sense of wanting to heal these things, especially during Mars retrograde. So if there's unfinished business and energetically you have a soul contract, you can see energies from the past coming back, and you will directly be it there with you or not, under that assessment zone as it is. So at a psychological level, you potentially can be tuning into a person from the past, making peace with it. Once that vibration is in alignment, you will find that an energy comes towards you, and I'm feeling between now and October, that's majorly themed. For those of you that are ending cycles, there can be assets distributed. You may find things to do with insurances, homes, shared resources, divorces. Those themes can come up. Now, for some of you, if you had been working towards that, that may have come through last month, but it still can continue through the month. And as you proceed forward, it's really tying out those old ends, those loose ends, moving forward and clearing it, so that when you move into 2021, it's very fresh energy. I also feel socially you can actually meet someone at the moment, be it it's through your travels, be it it's directly through technology. I'm seeing it quite large at the moment. Now, in your health domain, mind, body, and soul is going to be important. Your core at the moment, I do feel the lower back energy, because you're really dealing with a lot of root chakra. Drinking the fluid and trying to prevent excessive caffeine. Also, if you find you're triggered and you're going to emotional related dynamics to deal with the coping mechanism, journaling and actually looking at that so that you can get that vibration correct and you can cope with the energy moving forward. I'm also seeing with Mercury in Leo, when you're traveling, when you're moving, be careful. And when I say that, it is similar to a Mercury retrograde, because we'll be using our third eye and it's very energetic. We can actually miss certain things. So you can, in a sense, avoid some conflict relating to certain things if you actually see ahead of time that these were old energies that needed to be dealt with. If you haven't had time to do it, keep it on a list and keep trying to work through that frequency so that you can take the pressure off yourself and it will alleviate it. More towards the end of the month, as I said, you will find that you have more time at home. There can be cleaning up at home, reassessing the psychology and the things that you do and the reasons why you want certain things. Also, your shared resources can come up. You can also have situations to do with your psychology and home. The 19th and the 30th is hard as well, and that can be linking into very much the Pluto energy of what needs to be let go of, which is the 8th house placement. So it's tying up all those financial loose ends, but definitely there can be a lot more money coming in. Just be very cautious with it in a sense, because they can be poured into building the things that you're wanting to achieve or going towards future endeavors, which can be home, luxury items, especially with Venus and Cancer, which is, let me look, I don't know why I forgot, your career sector, both your career and your home. So these are big themes. You've been working towards balancing the energy out, and this is the energy you're moving towards by the end of the year. Okay, for unemployed, And career. We mentioned it, career, lots and lots of work. If you are working, you can find the devil in the detail is going to be important this month. Being able to achieve things is going to be super challenging. You will be able to get through it, but you're going to feel extremely tired. So rest and rejuvenation, taking 5 when you're triggered, thinking about your communication. The highest points for this energy with career would be the 2nd of August, the 10th of August, which can be challenging, the 19th, the 25th, and the 30th. So really looking at those dates, being well prepared, having your psychic protection stones on you. Definitely by the end of the month, use amethyst, and that can help with anything that's analytical. Having your crown chakra, keeping your fluid up, and you're going to be able to work through these details. Home will be cleared out and changed up. Some of you may move home, but much of it is more to do with changing things up. You know, what is that style of who you are? What are you liking now versus what you liked before? For those of you that are working from home, again, because you have the energy of Capricorn in your 4th house, which does link into Pluto. Let me look. Where am I? 4th house. Where have we got the dates for that? 29th major themes can come up, and the 1st day of the month. And again, if you are working from home, every aspect that I've mentioned at the beginning of the video will be hitting that sector. So pacing yourself, working through it, taking 5, jot down the time frames, and it's going to give you a bit of a nav man to help you through with the month. Also, as I mentioned, under offer, over deliver. Don't bite off more than you can chew this month. It is going to be very heavy, and much of what we're working towards, and that you have been for the last 2 years, of smoothing things out, getting finances in order. These things are tying over so that they can really benefit you by 2021. So anything you're doing, keep doing. Try and manage your frequency. If you do feel you don't directly relate to what you're doing, it's not you can't launch something now. The unemployment energy would relate to you as well. There is a positivity linking into home-related businesses, but it can be very testing at the moment, starting that off initially because it is Capricorn. So if you're going to be doing it, feel free to book a coaching session. I can look at your chart. I can have a discussion with you. Much of it you would need to implement and understand between now and the end of the year. It can be like Abraham Hicks growing up a rapid. It doesn't mean to say that it won't benefit you by the end of the year, but it can be super challenging. Also, launching it towards next year is a bit the same. You're still going to have that catch up because, yes, we will be hitting that energy of Aquarius, but it's the catch up, and you can do that now. It's just going to be very arduous to take those steps. So initially with the 4th house placement, yes, you can do that. With the axis of that, career is in your 10th house. So you may learn a lot through that process, even though the transit of that energy is still quite short. It can benefit you. Also, having Gemini in the 9th house can mean that travel, movement, upskilling is really beneficial. And the axis of Gemini for you is in your 9th house. So upskilling, education, communication, working locally, technology, being a teacher, being a student, it can benefit. And again, your communication sector, which can be technology, multimedia, spiritual energy. Sagittarius is very spiritual. What else am I saying? Bridging and working with other companies, networking, and doing things differently, doing them different to what you've done before, looking outside the box. What else am I seeing there? And definitely 2021, because we will have Jupiter in the energy of Aquarius, which is linked to your 5th house of luck. So launching and things to that degree, any Aquarian moon, the Aquarian moon will bring these themes up. It will benefit you. And by 2020 also, it will hit that sector. Now, the Rune. I'm going to read this in the upright and the reversal because as the month progresses, as I mentioned, we've got squaring aspects, ups and downs, backwards, forwards. challenges, adversity. And I did find it and I closed it. I did record this and then YouTube didn't save it for me. Anywho, okay, so it's links to Scorpio, black for obstinate. Really great for psychic protection because we're going to be having Venus in Cancer. You can smudge stick your house at the beginning of the month and towards the end of the month. If you feel really dense energy and you've been around negative energies, again, do the same. Have a shower. You can wear obstinate on you, tumbeline, and crown chakra energy. If you start getting lower back pains, again, you can do base chakra alignment, either red food groups. Always get these things checked, but from a holistic point of view, I'm speaking spiritually and chakra orientated. Get grounded during the month. So it does link to Scorpio, which is very Pluto 8th house, as I mentioned. So in the upright, flexibility, endurance, protection, change, empowerment, problem solving. Esoteric meaning, magical empowerment, psychic protection, mention that, spiritual attainment. So the downloads of what you're having, especially at the end of the month, because the 25th, the 29th, and the 30th has 12th house placement. Psychic downloads, drink water. Crown chakra clears through water, but you need to get grounded, both as below as above. I'm telling you. Reversed, disorientated. What happens when we're dehydrated? Crown chakra, disorientated, ego, third eye, thinking, burnout mode, fire energy. Take 5. Vulnerability, death. Now, 8th house is to do with that. Whatever is coming up, whatever you're ending, it can be challenging. So automatically it can be you're cleaning things up, you're sorting things out. There can be a legacy. Yes, that does come to you. But I feel this is more to do with the things that you're tying up, linking to your hopes and dreams and your career sector, tying things up, changing them, transforming them, letting what doesn't resonate anymore go. Now, that doesn't mean leaving your career. If you feel guided to, yes. If it directly happens, yes. It's more looking at the fresh version of situations and allowing that to transform and going with it. So with the yin and yang of that, the ups and downs of this, yes, you're going to be in all these elements, but remember the bigger picture. Through this, there is rebirth. Through this, there is growth. You do have it. So you've got the flexibility. You are protected. It's our ego that tells us that we're not, and trust the process. I will be doing your readings during the month based on tarot and psychic alone. And I will be coming to you to do the twin flame updates live, as I always do, as well as any astrology and any energy updates. Now, if you wish to have a private booking, the link is below, or PM me and I can give you a heads up. Love and light.